Hi guys, it's Jamie from Jamie and His Whiskey. Hope you're all doing well. I'm back for a third review, and today we're going to be looking at the Clynelish 14. So enjoy, sit back. If you're watching, maybe pour yourself a whiskey of your own, relax, and let's get to it. So yeah, today I thought I'd review one of the three malts which has come as part of the Classic Malts Coastal Collection. I'll say that again, the Classic Malts Coastal Collection. All right, got it? It comes in a lovely little gift set like this. Got it from Amazon for about 41 quid. And they are whiskies, or distilleries, sorry, based around Scotland. The first being the Clynelish, which I'm going to share with you today. We've also got Clynelish and Talisker, and it even comes with a little map. So you can see here, today that is the Clynelish distillery. So it's a far northern distillery right at the top. And then next week I'm going to be reviewing the Talisker, which is on the Isle of Skye. And finally down here on the Isle of Islay, Clynelish. Okay. So but you've got to start somewhere. So I thought, why not start with this one, because I've never had it before. The other two I've got some experience with. Now, I must confess, and I'm pleased I did, I thought I'd try this during the week, as you can see. The bottle's only 20 centilitres, so it's not quite as bad as it looks, guys. I'm not that much of a alcoholic, at least not yet. Okay, so let's get to it. On first impressions... Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, this one is bottled at 46%, so it's quite a strong one, and it's quite an oily one. Looking at the legs on here, it's definitely quite an oily whiskey. So I'm going to add some water soon, and I've got a feeling that will hold it quite well. Right, so first of all, I get hit with this instant, really distinctive smell. It's not a hard smell. It's not an aggressive upfront smell. It's actually quite a refined nose. But the smell reminds me of kind of like a dusty library, or old newspapers, or kind of clothes that have been hanging up for a while in the cupboard, and you get that kind of like slightly musty smell. That is the smell I get from this whiskey, and I don't know what it is. But I don't mind it, because especially when I come back for a second nose, that kind of fades away a bit, and I'm left with this sort of more of like a tangerine quality. Definitely some sweetness coming through. So like sweet oranges, tangerines, and there is a maritime quality here too. So like salty, a slight salty, or a remembrance of salt. I mean, bear in mind it is by the coast, so that kind of influence is going to creep in a bit. Yeah. And underneath it all is this very mild peat. Okay, so it's a very mild smoke underneath. It's not an aggressive smokiness at all. I would say out of 10, it's like a 2 out of 10 maybe. Okay, I'm not going to muck around anymore. I'm going to have a taste now. Oh wow, yeah, straight away you get hit with this sweetness up front, no messing around, really mouth-watering, and then it kind of slowly fades. Then you get some of the smoke actually catching up, creeping up a bit, and then it kind of fades into this dryness quite quickly actually. So fades might not be quite the right word. And then followed by some bitterness. So it transitions quite quickly. You get the sweet, and then this kind of salt, and then this, I'd say, dry feeling on the sides of your mouth, followed by a bitter finish. When I say a bitter finish, it's not quite right, but it definitely has that bitterness from the casks. Okay, I brought some water with me, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add just a couple of drops, nothing much, And let's see what it does to this whiskey. So far though, I'm definitely liking it. It's quite a complex one. Maybe not one for beginners, but still. Yeah, so already it's opened it up straight away. At 46%, I've got a feeling that this whiskey will hold water pretty well. And the sweetness has become more of a candy kind of sweetness. The peat's become a bit more present, I think, a little bit. And again, that salt is still there. It hasn't reduced or harmed the nose in any way. Yeah, it's really smoothed this whiskey out a lot. Before you could say it was a little bit spikier. Everything was hitting you a bit quicker. Now everything is blended together a little bit more, a bit rounder, and it's done all that while not making this whiskey seem tame. If anything, it's come more alive. Still that interplay of the sweetness, the bitterness, like the sweet and the savoury, and it's still got that kind of, you know what I said, that it's got that sort of slightly musty smell. It definitely carries on through to the taste, but not as much as the nose. I would say in the taste, it comes back a little bit more towards the end when you get this dry, slightly bitter finish. Yeah, it's really good, really complex. This whiskey is a little bit different to other ones I've had, and I think it takes a little bit of hunting around. You have to, I don't think I'd give this one to a beginner. I wouldn't give this one to someone who just wanted something simple and direct. Like, you know, some whiskies, they're like, here we go, here's sherry, have some of that. Here's sweet sherry. Other whiskies are like, right, smoke, bang. Some are like, floral and delicate, and they're all very pleasant and nice. This one has got quite a few elements which kind of compete for your attention. And depending on what stage you are with the whiskey, how much water you've added, how you're feeling on the night, some will be more present than others, if that's a way of putting it. I'm not sure if I'm being clear, but I guess I'm thinking off the cuff there. Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I think you can't go wrong giving it a try. And I know a lot of people are really big fans of this whiskey, actually, because it is a little bit different. Great. So that's the Clynelish 14. And next week, I'll be reviewing... Next week. A very famous whiskey from the Isle of Skye. The only distillery on the Isle of Skye. This is the Talisker 10. So I'm going to be giving this one a go next week, and I'll let you know what I think of it. In the meantime, please stay safe, everybody, and I will see you then. Take care.